This is the latest iteration, the latest installment of Isn't This Sweet? And how horrific that there's even an opportunity for this to happen. This story comes out of in Alabama. There's a teacher, apparently teaches at a school. She was spending hours on the bus every day to get to work. And one of her, I guess presumably the parents of one of her students found out. She gave the teacher a present. Here's a clip of this teacher, we don't know her name, getting a car from a parent. The teacher's about to get a life-changing present from one of the parents of a student. There it is. She's crying.
You're really serious. Oh my gosh. We don't want you to have to catch the bus or...
Businesswoman and mom, Courtney Adeleye, said this is the definition of success. Adeleye.
Oh my gosh. Like, I cannot believe this. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. Oh my gosh. You're just... No. Oh my gosh.
And she wrote, when you ask me to define success, this is my response. Give to those without expectations. Now, this is a sweet moment. It's a nice thing for her to do. But
it's a total indictment of our society in every way, shape, and form.
It's a total indictment of our society. I mean, Matt, do you even think teachers deserve cars?
I mean, I don't think anybody deserves a car. Let's start walking again, people. No, I think this is fine because it just shows that all we need to do, anybody who's struggling, anybody who's falling behind in their life, you just need to get a wealthier patron to sort of approve of you and your antics, and then they will, like medieval Florence or something. They'll be your patron and pay you to do what you want, and that's the future.
I like your teaching antics.
Yeah,
I mean, there's I don't know if there's more and more of this, and I think like I get the sense that the editors are in newsrooms saying like we've got to promote these like feel good stories, like
there was
when are they going to stop? Like they're never going to realize
where a cop doesn't just shoot somebody, but takes a homeless person and buys them a toothbrush or something. Like this is like to counteract the Trump thing, but it also it doesn't seem like there's any sense of like even the mom is like, this is outrageous. Like she has this platform to say like, this is outrageous. It shouldn't be the case that the kid, the person who teaches my kid doesn't have an ability to get to school every day.
These are feel-bad stories. The news is never going to realize that because they are corporate-owned media that toes the line of neoliberalism, where it's like, oh, it's our responsibility to take these things upon ourselves. This is just the way things are, right? Teacher pay is just low. That's a force of fucking nature. Like, I wrote an op-ed about this a few months ago when an 11-year-old girl, do you remember this story? She set up a lemonade stand to pay for her mom's kidney and pancreas transplant.
Oh, it's
and
so
like
inspiring.
Everyone's like, oh my God, that's so heartwarming. Like, no, what the fuck? This is terrible.
Do you recall there was a reality show that we talked about, I want to say a year ago or so. I don't remember the name of it. And I think it did get pulled.
Not the Undercover Boss.
No.
The one
it was
about the
literally
loans?
something about people competing for like some type of very base. What? It was about survival. It was some type of like taking a show where you weren't getting like riches or excess, but it was like taking people in really dire situations and having them sort of like get into a position to like get out of debt or something.
Right, and they had
it was
to compete
framed,
who was more morally
upright to get outside of a
who deserved
precisely. And it was
who deserved their
it was like a Tony
surgery.
And it was a Tony Robbins seminar ad. It was framed as like, this is what I learned about myself, this sort of thing.
it's really not that many steps from there to the show in Sorry to Bother You, which is like what I got the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's practically the same thing.
But and the thing that we are missing though, too,
I got the
about
shit
this
kicked
is
in me,
that
and I learned a lesson.
the thing that we're missing about this is that now she's going to be able to drive Uber to subsidize her teaching salary. So
Give a teacher a car she eats for a day. Teach a teacher to drive a car, and she can Uber drive for life to subsidize her teaching habit.
there you go.
How many teachers have you met driving in one of those car services? I've met several.
In New York City,
A couple.
I met one in Denver.
I met one. Two actually.
I don't
in
use them
Michigan,
as
yeah.
I don't use them as much as you do.
I use them all the time.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.